everybody, it's Tanya here with Stream Like a Boss TV, and Get Noticed with Video. Look, I've had a lot of people that have asked me about the Wave video live streaming app, but I did not have access. So I just wanted to let you know that I do now have beta access. They haven't released this app to the public yet, but it is in process. It looks like maybe within the next month or so. That's what I'm seeing in terms of notes. So if you are looking for yet another live streaming platform, we're going to test it out. I'm doing it in real time. I actually used Wave to broadcast tonight. So we're just going to play around with it. I don't have a real official outline for this evening. We're going to test some of the things that I know are common requests and common features when it comes to streaming platforms. Because you know I love to play with tech if you've been following for any amount of time. Now, if you're inside of my Facebook group, and you saw the announcement that this was going to be going live through Wave, there is a link. If you're in my community, there's a link where you can give Wave permission. That was added by them. I didn't have to manually type that out, so that's something to note as far as a feature. When I scheduled this live video, they automatically added a line that said, hey, I'm inside the group, or if you're in the group, make sure you click this link here to give permission. And here's the reason for this. For those of you who are new to doing live streams and you're watching, and by the way, hello, because I know I have some folks that are not new, but if you are new, type in hashtag newbie in the chat. If you've been here for a minute, you've been watching, and you've been a part of my community for some time, type in hashtag OG. I'll be looking for that. And this is a great way for me to test out the live chat as well. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. Music Mood by Vet. What's up, lady? It's good to see you. And it looks like you're on YouTube, so I can see your comment, which is awesome. Thank you so much for the comment and for the encouragement. I appreciate you. Look, here's the deal. What we've got to do when we test out these platforms is we have to look at all the things. There's a couple of things that I want you to definitely kind of keep in mind when you're looking for your platform of choice. So the first, and let me give an acknowledgement to one of my OG family, Marie Zimenoff. Wonderful to see you, ma'am. Career thought leaders in the house, and also Jeanette Hill. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. So I've got some OGs and some newbies in the house. Love it. So there's three things that I would encourage you to think about when you're looking to do or to choose a live streaming platform. One is you need to definitely be looking at the features. Does this app, does this space have what I need? And by I don't mean me, I mean you, depending on who you're trying to talk to with your videos. What type of little intricate details matter to you? For instance, do you want to screen share? Do you want to make sure you're able to show comments on screen? So that is definitely one thing, features. Number two is that you want to look for ease of use, because some of these systems, to be honest with you, have a very tough learning curve. I know when I used to use vMix, that was not one of my favorite apps because it was so difficult to learn how to use that thing. So you want to be looking for something that is going to fall within the wheelhouse of what you're willing to spend in terms of time. Like, how much time am I going to take to learn how to use this app? Number three is going to be the cost. Because here's the thing, now you do not have to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on streaming platforms in order to go live. Everybody, every social media network is encouraging you to do some form of video right now. So trust, there will be new platforms and new spaces coming out constantly competing for each other's, space. And that means it's a way for you to win because you literally can look at your budget and say, hey, I'm going to budget for this. And given the fact that I have these features and it's this easy to use, I'm good. I'll go ahead and pay this amount. So you get to choose from for all the different features and benefits that you think are important. So I wanted to point that out. Now I'm seeing a note from Marie. You didn't give permission, but I could still see that it was you. That is awesome. That is so interesting. Yeah, and if you're inside the group, you should have been able to give permission, or it should have required you to give permission. Thank you, Miss Jeanette. I appreciate you recapping that. So features, does it have what you need? Ease of use, what's the learning curve? And yes, is it affordable for your budget? Those are the three things. Thank you for the recap. So I want to actually just go in and start messing with stuff. And I already saw now that Marie mentioned we don't really have to give permission, but it did have a line in the groups. Now, let me explain why, especially if you're new. Why sometimes, at least most of the time, really, when you're broadcasting live inside of a group in Facebook, one of the reasons why the platforms are required, or they're supposed to get your permission to show your face and show your name, is because you are inside of a private space. Unless your group is public, which mine are never public, mine are always private, because I'm just set on vetting and making sure that I create a positive community. So I'm real careful about who I allow in. There's a gatekeeper, right, that allows people in or not. So because of that, when you have that private setting in your Facebook groups, whenever you're adding a third party app, an app that's outside of and not owned by Facebook, you're supposed to provide permission to allow that platform to show who you are, your face and your name. So if you ever run into that, it's not really the platform's fault. It is just that is part of the agreement that these platforms have with the Facebook group space. You don't have to do that with your profile. You don't have to do that with your business page, but typically you have to do that with your groups. So now that that's out of the way, let's play. If you have questions as we go, let me know. Now, because I'm inside of the app, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you some different things that I'm finding as we go through and I test some of these features. One of the features you saw me test just a few minutes ago, and that is they have a countdown timer that's built in. I kind of like the funky music that came with it. It sounds like my style. So you'll want to look at the media folder, and I'll show you what this looks like here in just a second, and you'll be able to choose from what they have available for videos. But here's the real winner. When you're using an app such as Wave Video didn't start out as a live streaming platform. Wave Video, we started using, I don't know, several of the people in my community, I know we've all been using it for a couple of years now. And what's at the core of what Wave Video can do is it allows you to be able to create short video clips, intros, outros, so you can create video assets, if you will, and you can do so in different formats and different sizes. So the cool thing that I think so far about Wave Video, since they're expanding into this space of live streaming, is that it is giving you the ability to be able to take the graphics and the videos and things that you're creating and to use those over in this live stream space. This is one of the reasons I noticed that Wave now has even more live streaming templates that they've created. So I'm going to pull up my screen and I'm going to showcase for you a couple of things. The other thing I'm going to do, because you can't really see behind the scenes, I'm going to snapshot, since I'm inside of Wave right now and I'm not using another app like I normally would to show you the behind the scenes. What I'll do is screenshot, and then I'm going to share my screen and show you what I'm seeing, okay? So that you can see it too. All right. Hey, Mr. David Kennedy, wonderful to see you, sir. And Marcia, another OG in the house, wonderful. All right, so here's what I'm going to show you first. Let's do this. Before I do that, before I showcase my screen share, I want to play around with a couple of things that I think will be obvious to you. So there is a branding feature that is inside of this app. And just like with all the other live stream platforms, they're going to give you the ability to be able to show your name, the title that you go by. So you can see my name at the bottom where it says Tanya Smith, live stream video coach. So I'm going to choose some different styles so you can see what's available. And it looks like you do have the option of being able to brand your name and your captions with different colors. So look at what I'm doing right now, and you'll notice that these are different options for captions. Now, what I'm going to do is take a real quick screenshot. Okay, and I'm going to pull that over here into my screen share, and I'm going to pop up screen share. There's a couple of things I played around with earlier that I want to show you that I think are pretty cool. Okay, so let's do screen share, and I'm going to show you exactly what I just saw. All right, so there's my face. I don't want you to see my face looking crazy, but what I do want you to see is this. Let me move, see if I can move myself. Okay, I still got to get to playing around with this a little bit more. There we go. So I still should be on live. Hopefully you can hear me. If you can't hear me, you're not going to hear me saying put it in the chat, but do let me know if you can't hear me. I know my community will let me know that. Okay, so take a peek at this screen share, right? Now, notice right here is where we've got these different options. So that's the branding piece itself. That's what I wanted you to see, right? Let me do this. I wanted you to see the actual titles. I don't know if you could hear me or not because I did put myself into something called director voice, which is a cool option that I'm not seeing on a lot of different platforms. What that means is if I'm showcasing other screens, like other than myself, even if I do this, which this is really cool, watch this. I'm going to switch to this scene. So I'm using a different camera, and I didn't even have to use a camera switcher. Like I didn't have to use Stream Deck in order to be able to do that. I literally am inside of Wave Video. I'm going to show you where I just did that. So I'm going to switch again so you can see what I'm talking about. So notice this. So I've got my different camera, and I actually have like 3 or 4 cameras. I just never use them, but I will start using them so I can teach you how to do this. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. Let me show you on stream what this looks like. So right over here on the left-hand side, there are scene switchers. Now, what's kind of cool about that is not only are there switchers for the scenes, but you also have the ability to be able to change the type of transition. So it can be a faded transition instead of just a quick cut from one scene to the next. So watch the difference. I'll show you. See that fade? Watch. So that looks a little bit more pro, right? They also have a slide. I haven't tried the slide, but I'm going to try this now. Let's see. Hey, check that out. So I'm just sliding between 2 scenes that I've created. And these scenes, it looks like you can actually use different cameras. You can probably pull in different images, maybe a video. So I think that's a really cool feature that I haven't seen on other platforms. Most of the time when you're doing a stream or using a streaming platform similar to this, so Ecamm Live can do a whole lot more. So we're not talking about that. That's a whole different club. But StreamYard, Restream, those type of tools, Melon, which is one that was a recent find that we all have. Yeah, it is pretty nice, I know. One of the things that you usually have to do is you have to buy extra gear. So you have to buy like a Stream Deck or some other types of equipment in order to be able to do that scene switcher. This, on the other hand, just allows you to do it built inside of Wave Video. So I think that's a really cool feature that will help differentiate them. I like that idea. Now, let me show you something else as far as the back end of this thing. So it's easy for me to navigate and to see your comments. Everything is still in the same sidebar, but this is pretty typical for most of these different types of apps. Let me show you this as well. Hold on. I'm going to try to take a screenshot real fast and show you what it looks like. So when you first, let me blow this up real quick and then I'll show you. When you first are going to when you're gonna stream and you're creating your new stream, here's something that I noticed that I wanna show you, okay? Right here, inside of Wave Video, and so this is my Wave Video account. Notice that there are several different tabs. Once you have access, and again, I have access to the beta, so this has not been released to everyone's account yet. But once you have access, you'll see a link over here that says My Streams, and notice it says beta. And when you get ready to actually go live, first of all, you want to add your various destinations. Now, something I learned in doing this is I do not see LinkedIn or Twitter yet, but I do see that they have a custom RTMP. So, really, the more native versions of destinations that they have right now, if you're looking for this, is you can go live to your page, to your group, to your profile inside of Facebook, as well as to YouTube. The other thing I was looking for is I wanted to know, does it give you the capability of being able to go live with 1080 pixels or only 720? Now, for the most part, most of you know this because I've taught you this. 720 pixels is what's available in your Facebook account. So, unless you're a gamer and you've gotten authorization to go above that, you're not getting full HD in 1080p. You're just not going to get it. But it does matter more in YouTube. So right now I am actually broadcasting in 1080 pixels, okay? Now, let me see this note. Yeah, so here's the thing. I see your note, Teresa. I haven't even paid attention. So their streaming option is only available in beta, and you need to request permission. If you check on the box inside of your account, it may say, hey, you need to get authorization, and you fill out a short application so that they can review it and decide if they're going to add you to their beta. That's what I did. And I shared with them, hey, I review live streaming apps. It would be good for me to have access so that I could share it with my people, my community, and see if this might be of interest to them. So I did get access this week, and that's why I'm testing it out to see what we think about it. But yeah, I noticed that you don't have yet capability of going live directly in Twitter or in LinkedIn. Those were not options for me yet. What I have seen so far in their Facebook group is that they are on the verge of adding different things. I will show you something that I thought was pretty cool. First of all, let me do this. I'm going to show you captions. So I'm going to show you what their captions look like. So depending on the brand or the style that you select, there are 6 different brand themes. So here's elegant. This one is called bubble. This one is called digital, modest, sleek, and brick. I don't know that I really have a favorite one over the other so far. I would like for there to be maybe something, a change or a switch up in the fonts. I don't know, because something about it, it just doesn't quite fit with the brand that I use. Yeah, genius. But I would love for them to give me some additional options for branding. And you know what I would really love? Because here, I'm going to show you the back end of my Wave account. What I would really love is if we got a chance to choose not only the colors, but also the fonts for our presentations or our themes that we choose in the streaming app. I think that's doable given the fact that they are the ones creating this streaming space inside of their design platform. So check this out. They do have a ticker as well. They've put these samples in here. So I didn't type this. I would have said this is an awesome feature in case I have some grammar police out there. Let's see. Questions time. If you do have questions, feel free to pop those in. I'm checking it out. I'm watching for the chat. What I do like, and I'll show you this, I'm going to do a quick snapshot, is when there is I'll wait for somebody to pop a comment in and then I'll take a snapshot of it. But when someone is chatting, you can tell that there is a chat or a comment that you need to look at because there's a little alert. There's like a little red flag on the live chat bubble. So I'll show that the next time somebody actually leaves a comment. So if you want to leave a comment now for me to test it, you can do that. Okay, let me hide these tickers and banners and all this stuff so we can get back to it. Okay, somebody did it for me. Thank you. So I'm going to take a quick snapshot and show you what I'm talking about. Of course, I always find the worst face to do this on, but that's okay. Okay, so what I want you to see is over here, notice over here, so you may have a bunch of different things going on, like you're switching up your captions and you're changing titles and maybe you're, I don't know, showing another form of media, but this will give you a little alert to tell you how many comments. So that little red circle says 1, so I know I have a comment that I need to address. I like that feature too. I think that's smart of them to have because, and now I see 2 comments because sometimes, like in the Melon app, it's difficult to tell if you have other chats or if you have comments coming through, especially because everything's kind of compressed together in the same sidebar. So let's see. Yeah, they look like the tags or headers at the end of TikToks. Huh. You would know, ma'am, because you are the TikTok and Reels queen right now. When will Wave be available? So I'm getting the impression, Vet, that they are going to be coming out soon, but I don't know an exact date. I literally just got the beta myself. There are some signs as I look in the Facebook group and I was reading through comments, which I need to do a little bit more of and get up to speed on where they are with things. But I'm hearing that there's more features coming out within the coming weeks. So it's possible that maybe sometime in March they'll be available. I'll double check that for you. So definitely I'll come back and respond to your comment in YouTube or on the Facebook app. Actually on YouTube because that's where you're writing from. So I'll do that once I find out for sure. But it looks like it'll be soon. And if you want to get access to the beta, just go into your Wave Video account. I think they're only doing this for people who have an actual account right now and do a request for the beta access. It didn't take long. It took maybe 4 or 5 days for me to get access. I don't know if that's typical or not, but you can try it and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to also show you a couple of other things, and then I'm going to go into my Wave account because I want you to see something that I think is kind of interesting. So I'm going to do real quick another screenshot, and let me pull this one over so you can see this one. So here's my screenshot. Let's share. Okay, so in this screenshot, there are backgrounds that they've added or included. There's also overlays, and then they also have the short videos or video clips that you can use for your music and your countdown timers and all of that, right? That's pretty cool. But one of the things that I think will be neat is that you can actually pull these clips from your own account. Okay. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about because when I go over into my Wave video account, let's just do a quick share there. And I'm going to play around a little bit with some of let's see if we can do this. I don't know if it's going to let me do it or not. I'm having a little bit of struggle here trying to see, change the layouts. So that's something that maybe they can make a little bit more plain because it's not really clear to me how these layouts are actually working. There we go. Okay. It just takes some getting used to, apparently, just like with every other dashboard. So here's what I want to show you real quick. And then I do see there's a couple of comments. So I'm going to go back and check for questions. This is my actual Wave video account. I really have 2, but this one has a few more video clips in it. You can create all kinds of videos inside of Wave. And what I wanted to show you is this. So earlier I did a test run of Wave. And right here, when you click on My Streams, you will see that there's a list. So upcoming, in progress, past, or destinations, right? So in past, I'm going to show you this one. I think I can show it to you. Actually, not right there. Ah, there was a folder that I created. That's what I want to find. Okay, it's right here. So I created a folder called live streams, and that's where my test for the Facebook recording earlier today was. This is where it landed. So when I did my stream and I finished my stream, I was able to go in here to where I can add my own brand. Instead of the blue, I would have the pink. I can use the player, right? So right here, I would change this. But I'm going to show you something that I've always loved about Wave. Watch this. What I've always enjoyed and appreciated about Wave for some time now is this landing page feature. So let's say that you create your live stream and you want it to have its own separate page where people can come to later and watch this live stream like it's a webinar or a recorded video. And let's say that you didn't broadcast it into YouTube or somewhere else where you might send people, but you want to just reserve this for your group members or people who actually, have access to you. So what you can do is you can actually create a landing page directly from the live stream that you made. And now watch this. When I copy this link and go to the landing page, here's what happens. So now it is its own page. I think that's pretty cool. And you can also use this inside of an email campaign. So you can take your live stream that you just created, and now you can actually use it as part of an email campaign and send people to this specific landing page or a different place if you decide to go have it taken somewhere else. So watch this. Let me show you what I mean when I say landing page. I'm going to say body text here. And then I'm going to add a call to action button to sign up. Now watch this. Check this out. And let me just put this in here, put a link to make sure that it all comes together. You can change the theme. So we'll just do that. And you can even change the layout. And this is possible whether you're doing a live stream or not. You can do this in Wave, which again is one of the reasons why I've really loved Wave for some time. So check this out. So now I have a landing page with a button and a headline. I need a real quick drink. Hold on. Okay, and I'm going to change it so it can be even more obvious to you. Let's see what happens there. So I like the fact that, look, I just created a landing page by using the live stream that I created earlier. And it's already built in because this was the test that I was running. So the video I'm doing right now with you, excuse me, I'm so sorry. The video I'm doing right now with you, I could literally just create an entire landing page from this and let this be a one-page mini course or something like that, where I give people the link to go and access it. That's genius. So there are lots of things that you can do if you've already been using Wave Video to create your short videos and to reformat things and to use it for the landing page and the email feature. Now you can take your live streams and use them in those ways. So that is pretty cool. Yes, I do think it is cool as well. Okay, so let's see what else we can test. And again, I'm loving this whole idea of being able to switch cameras, even though I don't have my really good camera on. What I will do for future is use something called Camo Pro, which I won a lifetime pro version of Camo Pro in a recent conference with Luria Petrucci and the live streaming pros. And I've just started playing with that. So, I'm going to have to unpack that for you later. What it does is it gives you the ability to take your phone. So I got my iPhone right here. I can hook it up with this Camo Pro software. And this becomes like a high quality HD webcam, which is crazy. So I'll have to show y'all that at another time. But if I were literally using Wave Video with the scene switcher, what I'd probably do is use my Camo Pro app on my phone and have another high quality HD level cam without going out and buying another $1,000 or $1,400 camera. Because right now I'm using my DSLR, which is my favorite, right? And some people use the Logitech Brio and some people use the Logitech C920. This is my C920 right here. You can see that it's not as high quality as my DSLR, but the phone is darn near that quality, which I'll again have to show you at a later time. But that's probably what I would do if I was using the scene switcher and playing around with Wave. I love that. Okay, I'm not going to keep you too much longer. I just want to play with a couple more things real quick. If you've got any questions at all about Wave, now is your time to ask. I showed you captions. I showed you text styles, is what they called them. This right here. There are guest features and options for guests. I have not played around with that yet, but I will say that I kind of like this feature right here, which I'll show you. Look at this. So I'm going to remove my name and title, but I think this is kind of cool where I can actually have, the circle video. This is sort of like a loom, right? So you create a loom and you're doing a demo and trying to teach somebody a step-by-step process, or you're going through your slides and you want to have your little mini camera. I like that they have the circle option. I've been looking for that on a couple of other apps that I use. I actually use something called Demo Creator, and it gives you that ability, but Loom also gives people that circular view of your camera. So this is kind of neat, and you can move it around. I'm literally clicking and dragging my own face right across the site. So I like that idea. I like that if I wanted to do like a little teaching session, I could have myself in the pretty little rounded camera version versus the square or the rectangle. So that's cool. So anyway, there are lots of different layouts I'm looking at right now that I don't have time to play with, but here's what I would say if I were giving you kind of a grade, if you will, for wave video. I think, and let me look at some questions. I think there's some questions and comments here. Yes, love my wave. Ah, okay. So Teresa said that I'm kind of glitching a little bit. I don't think that's wave, but I do think that might be me because I do have a lot of windows open. So sorry. I need to fix that on my end. Um, Yeah, I love the Simple too. I'm learning Ecamm as well. But I do love the ability to be able to do live without a lot of complication, especially when it comes to interviews. I'm hearing a lot of back and forth about interviews with other people, with guests. And that's why I like the simpler streaming platforms for that purpose. Can you do multiple lives? Yes, you can. Now, if you're asking at one time or simultaneously, I don't know. I haven't tested that. Yes, Michelle asked, oh, she said, Melon still beats me for live streaming. Yep. So she still likes Melon, which is very simple. And there's lots of options with Melon. That's for sure. How long can you save the video? I don't know. I haven't tested that, Teresa, but what I will say I noticed is that my video earlier, the test that I ran went directly into the folders inside of my Wave app. And I have unlimited access to all my videos in there. So my guess is that they probably won't be restricting me from using or saving the videos, but I'll have to check that out and give you an answer on that one too. So let me see what else. I'm making sure I'm catching all of your questions. Okay, wonderful. All right, so yeah, I think I like it. Here's what I would say in terms of grade. If I were giving it on a scale of 1 to 5, I probably give them maybe a 3.5 compared to some of the other apps. The reason why I say that, and maybe even a 4, I talked about those 3 things that I think you should look into. Ease of use. Yeah, although there's definitely some things in here that you have to get used to, and just the layout itself. you'll have to get familiar with. But I think ease of use, they win with that. They also have dark theme or light theme, so you can choose from that in the background. You just can't see. I was showing you dark theme when I showed you my images. I like the idea that so the features, I would give them a 5, maybe a 4.5. Let me say why. With the features, they don't have a lot of built-in assets yet. So there's not like a built-in, a whole library full of video clips and images and graphics you can use and countdown timers. As you can see in Melon, they have come with that. Like they came hard with a whole library full of that stuff already ready to go. And I feel like Wave has an opportunity to allow you to pull from the ones that you have directly that are already in your Wave account. You should be able to pull those directly into your live streaming space. And I couldn't find that to be easy. So I'm gonna give them somewhere between a 4 and a 4.5 on features. I do like this option for switching the scene. That's kind of neat. I like that, and I like the transitions. So again, features somewhere between a 4 and a 4.5. As far as affordability, if you're already paying for the Wave app anyway, and if it's included and not an extra fee, then I'm gonna give them a kudos on that too. So somewhere around a 4 total for all of the different things that I would grade them on. I think it's definitely going to be a viable competitor once they start getting up and running and ensure that they are competing with the features of the other similar apps such as StreamYard, and uh, you know what? Maybe even a 3.85. Here's why. StreamYard, Restream, all of those, Melon too, they already have access to Twitter and LinkedIn. So once Wave Video comes out fully to the public and they have access to those spaces, they'll get the 4 that they deserve. But until then, I got to reduce that rating because they need to have access, or you need to be able to have access to broadcast in multiple spaces if that's what you want to do. Most of us want to do that. We want to go live in our LinkedIn, YouTube, and our Facebook at the same time. If you can't do that and you're restricted and have to use an RTMP link and all that other stuff, then that slows us down. So I want that to be corrected, and then I'll give them a better rating. But the live chat is easy to navigate. Captions, I would like for them to give us more versatility with the text styles because those styles were just a little dated for me. Like they just didn't fit what I wanted them to do. Like that brick, sleek, nope. Modest is probably the best one to me that I would use. You can add your logo, I believe, but I've yet to figure out how to do all that since I just tested it out today. Anyway, I like it so far. It's worth a shot. If you already have Wave Video and you have access to be able to request the beta, go ahead and ask for it and see what you think, because it may be the app that you choose to use. For me, I'm not sure if I love it enough to switch from other apps that I have, but if I were new and just starting out, Michelle doesn't like the captions at all. If I were new and just starting out, I would look at this as an option if I already have a Wave Video account, because having everything in one place and having that ability to be able to use the landing page feature and the email campaign feature, those are good possibilities, good features for you to have. Well, that's it for me. And I went a little bit over time, but I just, you know how I love playing around with technology. And I love trying new things and sharing them with you. So I hope that you enjoyed it. If you've got questions, if you're testing out Wave, if you're thinking about testing out Wave Video, reach out to me and let me know. Any questions I can answer for you, I certainly will. There are people that are much more familiar with all the different features than I am because I literally just played with it for the first time today. So I'll continue to study it so that I can really put together a clear comparison chart over the coming months. And especially this is going to be useful when we start teaching our Launch Your Live Stream Show series, which is going to be starting in March. So looking forward to that for those of you who are in the Stream Bosses Academy space. Again, if you have questions or you want to know more, reach out and let me know. And otherwise, I am looking forward to seeing you all next week. And we will be back on our regular schedule and we'll do something a little bit more formal as far as training. But tonight, I just wanted to play. So thanks for playing with me. You're so welcome. Thank you for coming by, Miss Vet. Music Moods. I love it. I will see you all on next week. Have an amazing rest of the week and enjoy your weekend and be safe. Okay? All right.